ask a lot of questions. Now, you can certainly ask questions about, where'd you come from? Where'd you go to school? These are, I think, quite helpful questions to help establish rapport, build a relationship. But fundamentally, a good question in the context of negotiation is when you're asking people about what are their interests, what really matters to them, what are their priorities, what is truly critical versus, frankly, what is not so important. These get at the heart of what you need to understand, what are people's interests and priorities, and asking lots of questions about them. It's very helpful. Seasoned negotiators also think about a variety of options and alternatives, more so than I think inexperienced negotiators do. To think about very different ways to solve the same problem. They're very good at communicating, and not only are they good at communicating effectively, they're very good at listening. Listening is an important but often neglected skill in negotiation. When you ask somebody something and they answer your question, that it can be quite helpful to read it back to them, or did I truly understand what you said? Let me just tell you what I think you heard. And so it can be a more active process. So it's often referred to as active listening. Good negotiators know that negotiations are often rather, constipated unless somebody makes a proposal. So they make a proposal at the appropriate time. They make a proposal because they know that proposals move the process forward. Otherwise, it can be just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At some point, someone's going to make an offer. I think typically it's better that you be the one to make the offer, but somebody should make an offer. And by the way, once you do make an offer, you've got a very simple job as a negotiator. Your job is then be patient and wait, and do not make another offer unless and until you receive a point-by-point response to what you have to say. What you don't want to do is to start negotiating against yourself. And people tend to like doing this. Once you make an offer and solicit a counteroffer, often it goes offer, counteroffer, counteroffer, which it's a way that people often are quite comfortable engaging in a negotiation. Even more sophisticated, I think, is that of putting 2 or 3 proposals on the table. I'm not saying proposals that are close to your bottom line, but if you can put, during a negotiation, 2 or 3 proposals on the table that are of roughly equivalent value to you and are somewhere around your target, you're now in a position to say to your counterpart, take your pick, choose which one you want. And that's a very collaborative gesture, which I think is often received very productively. Now, they may reject all of your proposals, but even if they do that, you can now say, well, I understand you reject all my proposals. Would you mind rank ordering the former, which is truly the most distasteful versus the one that is closest to being acceptable? And if they can rank order those proposals, you'll be learning useful information about what truly matters to your counterpart. The idea of something called a post-settlement settlement reflects the fact that just because you got a deal doesn't mean it's a great deal. Most negotiation could be better, and the idea of a post-settlement settlement gives you an opportunity to make it better. And it just means you don't assume you're done when you have a deal or a solution or an outcome. Is it possible? Would it be worthwhile to schedule a subsequent meeting to explore the possibility that you can make changes to what we have that will be mutually beneficial? And as long as everybody thinks those changes make sense, why not make those changes? The idea of a post-settlement, just another way of extracting additional information. And that information tends to flow more easily after there is a solution in place. And then the point of the subsequent meeting, can we make it even better? Negotiation, when done successfully, achieves 4 things: enhance relationships, perceptions of having won or done well that exist around the table. You've created a large pie of collective benefit, and you've been successful at claiming at a minimum your fair share. Those are considered the traditional hallmarks of an effective negotiation. They're hard to achieve simultaneously, but it's useful for people to understand what it means, what negotiation when done well looks like, because it then gives you It's like a beacon of light to guide you as you are making all the decisions in the process of a complex negotiation.